Reading a letter, John Keats to Charles Brown. Keats and Brown. Brown is best known for his close friendship with the poet John Keats. When Charles Brown first met Keats in the late summer of 1817, Keats was 21 and Brown 30. Shortly after the meeting, Keats and Brown were planning to see Scotland together. Their famous tour was described in their letters and in walks in the north. In 1818, after Keats' brother died of tuberculosis or consumption, as it was called in his day, Keats moved into Brown's half of Wentworth Place, taking the front parlour, where he lived for the next 17 months. During this time, Brown collaborated with Keats on a play, Otho the Great. John Keats' letters to Charles Brown, 30 November 1820. Rome, 30 November 1820. My dear Brown, 'tis the most difficult thing in the world to me to write a letter. My stomach continues so bad that I feel it worse on opening any book. Yet I am much better than I was in quarantine. Then I am afraid to encounter the proing and conning of anything interesting to me in England. I have an habitual feeling of my real life having passed, and that I am leading a posthumous existence. God knows how it would have been, but it appears to me, however, I will not speak of that subject. I must have been at Bedhampton nearly at the time you were writing to me from Chichester. How unfortunate! And to pass on the river too. There was my star predominant. I cannot answer anything in your letter, which followed me from Naples to Rome, because I am afraid to look it over again. I am so weak in mind that I cannot bear the sight of anything, any handwriting of a friend I love so much as I do you. Yet I ride the little horse, and at my worst, even in quarantine, summon up more puns in a sort of desperation, in 1 week than any year of my life. There is one thought enough to kill me. I have been well healthy, alert, walking with her, and now the knowledge of contrast, feeling for light and shade, all that information Primitive says necessary for a poem are great enemies to the recovery of my stomach. There you rug. I put you to the torture, but you must bring your philosophy to bear, as I do mine, really, or how should I be able to live? Dr. Clark is very attentive to me. He says there is very little the matter with my lungs, but the stomach, he says, is very bad. I am well disappointed in hearing good news from George, for it runs in my head we shall all die young. I have not written to XXXX yet, which he must think very neglectful, being anxious to send him a good account of my health. I have delayed it from week to week. If I recover, I will do all in my power to correct all the mistakes made during sickness, and if I should not, all my faults will be forgiven. I shall write to XXX tomorrow, or next day. I will write to XXX in the middle of the next week. Selwyn is very well, though he leads so dull a life with me. Remember me to all friends and tell XXX. I should not have left London without taking leave of him, but from being so low in body and mind. Write to George as soon as you receive this, and tell him how I am, as far as you can guess, and also note to my sister, who walks about my imagination like a ghost. She is so like Tom. I can scarcely bid you goodbye even in a letter. I always made an awkward bow. God bless you, John Keats.